Group Science and Technology Office, MEC Life Science, and uh, my and our dear President, Jürgen Westermeier, uh, President of FEBI, and also President and Managing Director, India and South Asia, Airbus. We are awaiting the arrival of Mr. Roberto Viola, Director General, Directorate General for Communications Network Content and Technology, EU Commission, in another few minutes. However, we will begin with our program. My name is Sonia Prasher. I'm the Secretary General of FEBI, and we are very honored to be organizing this roundtable on opportunities for EU-India collaboration for twin transition. 2 weeks back, the mood was euphoric. We did it, as the President of the EU Commission said, Ursula von der Leyen. We did it, and we did conclude the negotiations on the EU-India FTA. There's a lot of work to be done in the next few weeks and months, and that is why it was also important to discuss the EU-India collaboration for twin transition on the occasion of the AI Impact Summit. I would now like to welcome FEBI President Jürgen Westermeier to kindly give his address. Sorry for not sorry. I think it's a good, cozy setup today morning. So please enjoy the coziness in this room and please listen to these brilliant remarks today.
Oh, a lot of pressure, brilliant remarks. Let's see. Now, first of all, thank you very much, Sonia, for organizing this, and thank you everybody for coming. It's an important event, and I have two roles, as you said: President of FEBI, Federation of European Businesses in India, and yeah, it's exciting times. Collaboration reaches new heights. So just if you're a European company in India and not yet a member, we definitely take applications today. And it's two super important topics: artificial intelligence and sustainability, where we will today see discussions, comments from our S-teams, industry colleagues. I'm really excited to see, to hear what they are doing, how they are driving these twin transitions. A few words from my industry. So this is my reference point. So for me, coming from the aviation industry, there for us, both of these topics signify an, you could even say, orbital shift in our industrial activity and the way we do business. At Airbus, and let me say this because how do we do AI? Europe, some people say it's the champion of regulations. So, but it's important. At Airbus, we also believe that technology should be human-centric. IA is not a replacement for expertise. Rather, it is a responsible and ethical enabler designed to augment human capability. And at Airbus, we have things like the predictive maintenance, we are optimizing logistics, or we also already streamlining complex engineering. IA allows us to move from abstract ambition to practical high impact results. But, however, technology alone cannot be the goal. The true measure of our success lies in how we apply these technologies to solve one of the major existential crises: global warming. For any industry to thrive in the coming decades, sustainability must be embedded into its design and governance from the outset, not threaded in as an afterthought. We believe we must look at AI as a bridge, one that helps us to become more efficient and optimize resources on the way to our net zero goals. At Airbus, we already use AI as a responsible enabler to design to support our people. From our smart engineering assistant supporting 14,000 engineers to the Skywise platform, which already saves global airline industry over 200 million annually. through predictive maintenance. So AI is already delivering tangible results, tangible values, but honestly quite small compared to the ambition we are seeing coming from aviation. The sky is the limit. Um, Parallel to this digital revolution is our green transition. In Airbus, we believe aerospace is a powerful force for good in an unstable world. So we want to stay true, and we are staying true to what matters most for us, which is our vision. We are pioneering sustainable aerospace for a safe and connected world. And connected also means digital. For us, sustainability is a strength. It drives innovation, it boosts efficiency, and it creates value for the long term. And for example, here in India, who lives in Delhi knows the air quality, especially during winter. India here possesses the raw materials from vast agricultural feedstock to a world-class engineering talent pool to become the sustainable aviation fuel factory for the world. So just imagine, and we have a research project with Gati Shakti, if we would be able to make it a business case to collect the stubble on the fields rather than to burn it, this would be a major step forward, because as long business cases drive the world, as long this is not a business case, it will be hard to stop. So this can be the way forward. Also a key part of Made in India SAF. So friends, today's roundtable is an opportunity to hear how your companies are making the twin transition of AI and sustainability, and I'm really looking forward to, as you said, Sonja, brilliant insights. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jürgen Westermeier, President FEBI. Before we go to the next address, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Roberto Viola, Director General, Directorate General for Communications Networks, Content and Technology, EU Commission. Before I invite you on the dais, we need an official photograph of all the speakers. May I please request everybody to stand up for the official photograph? I'm coming. I have to also acknowledge the presence of my Vice President, Mr. Deepak Sharma from Schneider, sitting here. So thank you very much for joining. Now, it's my, again, pleasure and honor to invite Mr. Roberto Viola for his address, please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for the kind invitation. Congratulations for organizing this roundtable. Apologize to be slightly late. It is the enthusiasm to enter, the AI summit that slowed my coming to here. It's really a pleasure to be here. The fact that in 12 months, this is the second time I'm visiting India, just gives you the idea of how important is the EU-India relationship for us, and I'm sure the same can be said for the Indian friends at this point in time. We made impressive progress in the last 12 months, starting exactly last February with the visit of the President of the Commission, the full college here, and then with the signature of the trade agreement, the historic signature of the trade agreement, and today, here with the AI Impact Summit, where we come to continue this journey of cooperation. There are many reasons why the EU and India have to be marching together, being friends together. We are two great democracies. We see things in similar ways. We want that technology, green technology, digital technology, serves our citizens and improves quality of life and well-being. On this, there's absolutely no difference, and absolutely we stand united. Clearly, Europe, looking from the dynamic India, is a bit oldish, and it brings, enthusiasm, brings, the force of Europe, what we are doing, been doing, and India brings the dynamism, brings the rising, stars of technology and economy. So we are, in a way, together a very strong team. Let me tell you what this relationship can bring in the short term, in the medium term, and the long term. If I start with the short term, together with the signature of the trade agreement, I personally signed with the METI secretary an agreement to mutually recognize e-signature between India and Europe. And this is just the first step. As you know, the basic cooperation with India is through the Trade and Technology Council. India is the only country where we have a Trade and Technology Council active. And one of the goals of this Trade and Technology Council is to make sure that making business from India to Europe and from Europe to India becomes much, much simpler. And the whole idea is that to make it much, much simpler, and this I come to the short-term deliverables, it has to be all digital. So Europe has launched a project which brings together all what we do in terms of identity signature for companies, time stamping, all what we call the trusted elements of around company life. And this is called the European Business Wallet. And we have a specific provision that says this can be source of mutual recognition. And we have already done the first step with India to recognize now the signature, and then the rest, I hope it will come quite quickly. So the whole idea is that whatever is digitally generated in terms of trust document from an Indian company or from a European company can be mutually recognized. And hopefully this immensely helps in business to government relationship and business to business relationship. So this is, and of course this extends to citizens, because India has been making impressive progress with the Aadhaar and the DigiLock wallet, and we have in Europe the European citizens wallet that will be in the pocket of every European this year. So also the idea is that when it comes to the mobility of citizens, mobility of workers, the personal wallets and the business wallet will work seamlessly and hopefully fully interoperable. I must say with a lot of pride that we have been doing tests of interoperability between the Aadhaar and the European digital wallet, and things are very fine. So we are very confident that since there's a strong political will on the two sides and that there's a strong technical underpinning, that digital interoperability will be the first big deliverable of our cooperation. Now, looking to the medium term, of course, we look at AI. We have already a cooperation when it comes to high-end AI and supercomputing. We have signed a cooperation agreement between our supercomputing centers and Indian supercomputing centers, and we work together already on climate, on diseases. And the idea now is to move into the area of AI cooperation, looking at healthcare, looking at industry, looking at aerospace, looking at material science and pharma. We have just launched a number of challenges in Europe. As you know, we have a model that is based on the expansion of solid, compute capacity for industries and for startups. And the whole idea is that we'll work together with Indian researchers, with Indian companies, trying to get this model, which is a bit of a different model altogether of AI, which is including everyone into the AI development, especially the large European scientific community, the large and startup community, the large Indian one, into an inclusive way of looking at things. And that, of course, includes the two sides of the coin. I mean, advancement in IT and AI, which also brings, I mean, advancement in greening and, I mean, making sure that the sustainability comes with the reasonable cost and all the advantages. In the long term, really the hope and the idea is that we can create a seamless knowledge area between the EU and India, making sure that there's, as I said, I mean, full digital interoperability, sharing the same aims and same ideas about opening our models and opening our supercomputers to cooperative research, and ultimately creating this seamless area of knowledge and trust for greening and making our planet more digital. Many thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Roberto Viola, for making very important remarks with respect to the EU-India collaboration. I would now like to invite some inputs on sector-specific AI use cases and sustainability. And our first speaker is Dr. Klaus Neumann, Global Head, SAP Labs Network. Over to you, Klaus.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sonja. And dear Director Viola and President Westermeier of FEBI, it's my great pleasure and honor to speak here today and also to represent SAP. We are having, of course, also a very strong base here in multiple locations. We employ more than 15,000 engineers right now in India, and we are still growing from there. Now, I would like to just make very briefly 4 points. Sonja already looks at me with speak faster. So would like to make just 4 very short points in my opening remarks here. Number 1 is the twin transition itself. Yeah? From SAP's point of view, it is, of course, not only to digitalize the processes and bring in AI, but really to make it AI first. And one important concept, and I was happy that Director Viola just spoke about the digital wallet, is also the so-called green ledger. So that means how do we make sustainable efforts into financial numbers and then can also report on it in a aligned way between India, for example, and the European Union. The second thing is, of course, that we need to drive really AI use cases. Yeah? And at SAP, we believe in 3 major ways how to do this. Number 1 is we need to measure it, yeah, with software, with AI. We need to measure it. Then we need to analyze it. Again, we need AI, of course, to analyze it, to see what's the insights now. And then finally, of course, to optimize it. Yeah? And then ideally, doing this also automatically. Number 3 is very clear. We need policies and also a regulatory framework. Here, what we have observed is that globally, the regulatory framework is very diverse. Yeah? And I don't mean this only in a positive way. So we would be, of course, very happy if we would get to more standards and in the regulation across the globe, because basically every country has their own regulations now with respect to AI. I also understand this because AI is also a matter of national concern and national security, and not only about optimization and sustainability. And then it is about sustainable AI infrastructure, very important. We need, and that's again, when we speak about the twin transition, AI also uses a lot of energy. Yeah? According to calculations I just read earlier this week, for example, in the United States, right, the usage of AI data centers, right, is about in 4 years the same than the usage of electricity for the whole African continent. Yeah? So you get an idea. Here's one country that can invest the same amount of money and resources another continent needs to run the whole continent. That gives you an idea of what we are talking about when we speak about energy consumption. And therefore, it is also important that we put every thinkable effort in making AI more sustainable. This can be, of course, by optimizing infrastructure, by using more green and clean energy, but also, of course, by optimizing the models we are using. We see great effort, but the world again needs to come together. Some of the best models are developed in different parts of the world, and we see we can reduce energy consumption also in AI by up to 90–95% by using the right technology. So with that, I would hope I gave a few ideas here in my remarks, and I wish this conference really very happy proceedings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Klaus. Thank you, Mr. Viola, also for your presence today. It's my huge honor to invite Mr. Olivier Blum, Global CEO, Schneider Electric. Mr. Blum, thank you very much for joining us and making it possible to make your remarks here as well. Thank you very much.
Good morning to all. It's always a pleasure, and a special feeling for me to be back to India. I'm not going to tell you my personal life, but I landed for the first time in my life in 2007, and my job was to make Schneider Electric in India big, and I spent 6 years of my life in India. In 2007, when I landed and I came with my family, when you are the head of Schneider in India at that point of time, the biggest thing that you discover is that the biggest problem of the country was access to power. And since 2007, I came back to India, I would say on average 4 times per year. Now I'm the global CEO of the company. I'm standing in front of you. And what is the biggest problem of the planet today? Access to power. And nothing has changed. But the difference is that the problem of power is not only a problem of India, it's a problem of the global planet. Now, what is very, very interesting when we speak about AI, and we are in an AI summit, and you will hear a lot of people talking, and if you hear from the CEO of the largest tech company, they will tell you something very, very simple. AI is going to transform the world, for sure, but AI needs compute, and the biggest problem to get compute is energy. And we have progressed a lot in the past 10, 15 years. Let's make it clear. I remember the time, of the Paris Agreement, which was somewhere a catalyst for the world to realize that if we want really to decarbonize the planet, we need to manage energy very differently. And that's why you started to hear a lot about clean energy, and a lot of focus on supply. But many people who have done research in the world, and Schneider was one of the companies, realized that clean energy and working on supply was one aspect, but the second aspect, which was more important, was even the demand side, how you make energy more efficient. And the good news, since 2015, there are a lot of companies, there are a lot of people in the world who have started to implement technology that makes energy more efficient. And that's why we moved from a world which was about being more electrical to a world which was more electrical and more digital. So that was a great journey. But I don't think we fixed the problem of the planet, because in many parts of the world today, the problem of energy is still there. Even without talking about AI, you have a lot of countries in the world who don't have access to energy in some part of the day, just because you have peak load, and we have not been able to manage yet those issues in many, many parts of the world. By the way, including in the US, where in many states of the US, you are still facing access to energy. Now, we are in front of a big trend, which is the AI trend. And when you look at the type of infrastructure that you need for AI, they are very, very different. That's why we don't speak anymore about data center. We start to speak about AI factories, because the type of infrastructure that you need are very different. And that's really one of the core business of Schneider, and that's why we are working very, very closely with NVIDIA. Just to give you a very simple number, up to a couple of years with a couple of weeks or couple of months ago, I would say, with my colleagues at Schneider, when we are speaking with the largest hyperscaler in the world to build a data center, we are talking about rack density, about 10 kilowatt, 40 kilowatt. That was the standard, I would say, type of density that you have in the data center. Just to give you an example, up to 40 kilowatt, you can cool a data center with air. Above 40 kilowatt in average, it's not possible anymore. Now, when you look at the type of GPU which are coming in the market in the coming years, that changed completely. You are moving from 10, 40, Today we are already at 150 when we design the data center to support AI, and we are talking about going up to 1 megawatt in the coming years. That changed completely the infrastructure of data center, and of course that requires a very, very different type of power infrastructure. Some of you might have heard of the concept of 800 volt DCs, which is a completely new type of electrical infrastructure to support the data center. Now, it's not yet in the market today, but it will come in the next 3-5 years. Actually, I was in China recently. China will not be the country in the world will face this new infrastructure. I think it will come in the US first, for sure, because this is where the highest demand here. But we start to see some design of 800 volt DC in our team that will make it possible. Now, to cut a long story short, what does it mean? On top of a world which was already facing a lot of energy shortage, we are just going to the next level with AI. The big difference between AI and your home, we can eventually stop access to energy in your home for a couple of hours, even if you don't like it, or we can ask you to reduce your energy consumption. That does not work with an AI factory. It has to be on all the time. Now, the good news in all of that, if you think about what we've done in the past 10, 15 years, which is to start to digitize the power systems in the world, but if we are able to take it to the next level and to do it seriously, I think we have a path. We have a path really to make AI possible, because again, AI needs compute needs energy, but it means a total different view on how the different players are going to work in the market, starting from the government, the speed at which government are going to facilitate all this infrastructure, making sure utility are doing a serious job to digitize their own also infrastructure, and having a complete different view on a power system which will be completely digitized and in which you can really make it efficient. And why I'm a much more optimist today than I was 15, 10 years ago, it's because AI is part of the solution. We always said that AI needs energy, but energy needs intelligence. So when we look at where we are today, and especially in this country, if we are able to make energy intelligent, what does it mean? I'm going to give you a very simple example, and I'm going to close. Look at your home today. Today you have an electrical panel in your home. This electrical panel is not connected. Home, you don't realize, is the largest consumption of energy in the world. Imagine a world where every single home are connected, where we are able to extract data, we are able to apply an AI agent, or we can run the consumption in your home without you knowing it. You can save up to 20 to 30% of the energy consumption in home. And you don't even know it, because today right now you are not in your home, but your home continue to work on energy. So the technology will take us to a very, very different level, what we call energy intelligence, that help to solve this equation between AI and energy. Because again, AI is part of the solution to make energy more intelligent. And I will just conclude being India. India is a unique opportunity, because India in the world, a place where you have a lot of engineers in power and automation, more than anywhere else in the world. I've been working in this country for 6 years. I can tell you, when you crack the code in India, you crack the code for the planet, because this is where you have the biggest pressure on infrastructure because of temperature, because of everything. So if you crack the code here, you solve it for the planet. And 3, it's a digital country, digital native country, because that's a place where we have the largest number of software engineers. It's interesting, Schneider is doing the largest part of its business in data center, but also in digital in the US. But the largest number of software engineers that we have in the world are in this country. So when you combine all of that, the need for power, the competencies we have in the country, I think AI really will move probably much faster in this country than anybody else in the world. And that will give us a lot of ideas on how we can implement those solutions in different parts of the world. So I'll stop here, because I've been probably already very, very long. So what I just want to leave it to you is energy needs to become more intelligent. I'm very optimistic, it's possible, and that can help also to solve all our decarbonization goals that we have at the same time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I can use the word brilliant here. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Yeah. I now like to invite Dr. Magnus Everbrink, Head of Advanced Technology and CTO, APAC, Ericsson Group.
Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to talk about innovation, India and EU. Now, going forward, AI, it's of course there in many ways. AI and cloud, but then as a representative of Ericsson and the telecom industry, the mobile networks. Without them, you wouldn't be able to connect your application to the cloud and have the compute being done. It is a bare necessity, and that importance will ever increase. Being without it is not an option. Regardless where you are, in the office, at home, out and about, you need to be connected, and you will rely on it. And you is not only a consumer, it's industries, it's enterprise, it's government sectors. And indeed, that journey is onwards now. It's happening. I'm very proud to be here in India. One of the nations, one of the few nations I highlight as I travel in much of Asia and in the world for having this ability is India with the 5th generation. Reliance Jio and Airtel have internationally fantastic good systems. And that is a platform to continue to leverage on. Leverage on together with Indian initiatives of the digital stack. UPI and digital ID are just few tokens there that are fundamental to drive digitalization in society. I'm being a Swedish citizen, I live in Asia, as a fellow European, I'd say to my European friends here, there are many good things to keep an eye on in India and the next few years. With this platform, applying AI ever more on it and deriving more information will drive further society wealth. Some examples of that then. Well, we see it now with the 5th generation, going beyond consumers having a best effort connection as we used to having tailored connections to the needs of a consumer, of an enterprise, industry, government functions. New York City policemen today wear body cams. T-Mobile USA connect them through the 5G system with a dedicated service for that need. There's no staggering. A live stream of the video is immediately being broadcasted to the home server. In other words, there's a public record. How did the policeman treat the citizen? How did the citizen treat the policeman? There's no more arguing. There's a record for the good of society. That's just one token of how a government function relies on a service procured in a private network with a certain guarantee for that service. And it starts to drive extra value in society. Already in the USA, the national carriers, the mobile operators provide information to financial companies so that fraud can be minimized. The economic value of that, of course, is very, very large. And it's starting there, it will spread through the world. I'm based in Singapore, where many examples there. The national airport, the national port, all being 5G connected. Luggage handling, management of containers is done in a secure, safe and reliable way through the 5G implementation. The Hyundai car manufacturing site in Singapore, they use 5G internally in their factory. The service is produced on a public network, but it's a private service, safe and secure. When you use a automatic screwdriver to fasten a bolt, the connectivity is through 5G and all data are automatically logged in a database. They know individually every bolt tightened in one car. How was that made? 5 years from now, if there's faults, they can identify every vehicle that may have a reason to be called back. Not go on a series and year basis. They can pinpoint individual cars. Last example, the National University Hospital in Singapore. A set of surgeons now, over 3 years, are using 5G connectivity to use XR imagery to superimpose as they do surgery. Ahead of surgery, they do a digital twin. As they cut the body open, They have an XR visor on, looking into the patient, and it superimposes for them where is the cancer tumor on the liver. Thanks to that, they can make a precision cut less of the liver, but cover all of the tumor. The effect is 20 to 30% shorter surgery time, lower mortality rate, and faster recovery time. In other words, for any factory, quality up, efficiency up. Thanks to using AI-based algorithms or imagery and having the 5G secure connectivity. Okay, you can argue. That's a few surgeons that use this 5 days a week in one hospital. But I'm sure you know Ray-Ban, Meta, many other companies are working on glasses that are becoming XR glasses. And just imagine in a few years' time, for many of you who have traveled in here to Delhi, you come to Delhi for maybe the first time, and you have these glasses. You will automatically see which building you're looking at. If you'd like to listen to somebody talking in Hindi, you have it automatically translated real time, thanks to AI support in the network and being connected. But the connectivity needs to be there, and it's just a few year to years down the line. In other words, innovation is happening now. The next few years, the networks, the nation that are mature on 5G will drive AI-based innovation on these networks. India is fantastically pegged for this. The 100 5G networks that Modi initiated some 3 years ago is a great foundation for this, one out of many tokens. Driving innovation on 5G now gives nations a leading edge till the end of this decade as we merge into the next generation. So go all in now. I think India do well, to the European Union continue as well. That will give a better position end of the decade. Drive digitalization in every society. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Everbrink, for again brilliant remarks. We have now Mr. Christian Wickert, Head of Global Digital Policy, Group Science and Technology Office, Merck Life Science.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Fabi, for the invitation. So Merck is a science and technology group, right? A lot of you know Merck by the pharmaceutical side, but it's also very strong in life science and in electronics, basically chemicals, gases, and processes for semiconductors. We talk a lot about AI, and I'll distill a little bit here of what we are doing. So we are in the context of bioconvergence. So what we used to do in terms of biology and chemistry now converges with data science and AI, and that is really transforming everything that we do. Folks talk a lot about LLMs and the big models, but if we think about the theme of this event here, the Impact Summit, we believe that the biggest impact will come from industrial AI. And industrial AI is already transforming the whole value chain of biotech. For example, things that we are doing. If we think about right at the beginning of the value chain on drug discovery, so we developed Thintia, a model on drug discovery that you can design the molecules. We have Edison as well. And basically both those two models create a new AI for drug development. And that evolved to digital lab. So we have now our fully digital lab in Billerica, and we are working on transforming it to be autonomous and really leverage. And what impact will bring? It will reduce costs. It will accelerate the discovery. So it will really transform. And actually, I believe this year 2026 is the first year that we'll have AI-driven drugs in clinical trials, so we'll start seeing the results of all that. Not Merck specifically, but we provide to many of the pharmaceutical companies. With that, with the lab of the future, you can evolve as well to Syntropy. Syntropy is a joint venture that we have with Palantir, focused on building this trusted data layer where can break the silos and people can share data, controlling IP, controlling cybersecurity. We don't own any data, it's completely in the control of the users, but really to foment, to create this foundation where people can develop on top. Then on manufacturing itself, we have developments on smart manufacturing and digital twins that will, again, transform how everything is produced with all the concerns of sustainability and all of that. So, as you can see, the whole biotech ecosystem is transforming. We have products and solutions that can partner and can help India as well. And if I think about it, if I think about what India could do with all the talent you have and all the great foundation that India has in pharmaceutical, in life science, really investing in this foundation, invest in this data layer and ontology, and you can let the entrepreneurship and the frugal business grow and be creative on top of that and leverage all the skilled talent. To link a little bit, 1 minute on the sustainability part, we launched recently our high-performance computing center in Munich. It's 100% fueled by renewable energy, has water cooling and all green solutions there, run by our own NVIDIA Blackwell chips in a partnership with Equinix and Lenovo. So indeed, it's fomenting and it's accelerating everything, it's transforming everything that we do, and we have been doing for 357 years. And India has tremendous potential, and I believe that this EU-India connection will be transformative and key around the globe. So, thank you.
I'm not sure. Okay, it's working. Thank you very much for your comments. Before we go to some points from the audience, if the panel would like to make any additional comments, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sonia. Just one very short one, because when I was listening to my co-panelists here, I think one super important theme that really combines this, and this is also at the core of this conference, is certainly the notion of trust. Because we have the most beautiful AI systems at SAP, at Schneider, Airbus, and so on. But at the same time, if our customers, if the people don't trust it, don't trust the analysis and the results, it's all pretty useless. And this trust is also not into the system only, but also between governments. I mentioned it. We have large nations and also regions, EU, India. I think it must be trust-based, and this is the core of the discussion. And that's also, I believe, the core of this whole conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Trust, good comment, and maybe need to be combined with cybersecurity, because I think it is energy, 30% savings if AI controls your home. Excellent, but if this is not trustfully protected with the right cybersecurity, it can also be a nightmare. So all these things need to come together.
Well, look, I've spoken a lot already. The only thing I would say, if you look at the history of the world, technology has brought progress to many people in the world. That's why I always like to look at the bottle half full versus half empty. And if we look at India, look at what was the country 40 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Technology has brought progress to every single people in this country. So I would like really that we think about, of course, security, about trust and everything, but that we embrace AI in a way that can bring progress for all. And I'm really, really convinced that it's going to transform a lot the way we educate people, the way we curate people, the way we bring a lot to many people in the world.
Okay, to tag on here, security, resilience, robustness are fundamental, and that's hygiene. You have to fix that, right? If you don't have that going forward, you cannot even try to be trusted. Then trust goes way beyond that. It is really a judgment from the individual organization. And that's something that needs to be won, I think. And that's needs to work on and can never be compromised, but it will be ever so important.
Thank you. And building on trust that was said here, so we also believe in ethics, and that's a key element to build trust. We have our code of digital ethics, so all the AI products and services that I mentioned here, they have to comply with our code of digital ethics. We have a digital ethics advisory panel with civil society, academia, members of the industry. So I believe those initiatives, having ethics by design right in the beginning, make it a little bit independent of regulation and country. Really, the foundation is set to grow and build trust.
Thank you very much. A huge applause for the panel, please. The clock is ticking there, but we will have very quick comments from the audience, please. This we will keep it later. I have Mr. Pramod Kaushik from Hexagon, also one of the FABI members. Very quickly, in exactly half a minute, how can AI solutions be effectively deployed across manufacturing ecosystem in a way that addresses the distinct needs of both large enterprises and MSMEs, enabling smarter automation, better decision making, and scalable operational improvements?
It's a large question, but
Yeah.
yes, I'll do my best in 30 seconds. It is that, of course, at large enterprise versus these MSMEs in the country, which are giving 45% export and they're backbone of the economy, we have solutions which are actually robotic, in nature. Basically, we have developed a humanoid robotic system for the large enterprise, which works along with the, I would say, the workers. And the very complex workflows which are there, it is very, very aware of the surroundings. It learns while it's doing the job, and it's absolutely for any hazardous location or any of the which are tough ergonomically situations. It does a fantastic job for the large enterprises because this humanoid robotic system is doing a wonderful job, and we are getting a very good traction. Coming on MSMEs, small enterprise, they depend, the ROI has to be very, very fast, and they can't spend so much of money like large enterprise can do it. But the fact remains is that we have a systems for India is growing big way on the, I would say, multi-axis CNC machines and machine tools. And there we have developed an AI system which is based on machine learning, which does the entire CAM programming based on the AI. It learns from all the historical programs which have been written, what has been the tool path, how the tools have to be chosen, and then it does fantastic job on the manufacturing to do a job which is highly reliable and very precision and does a good ROI. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Dr. Lavneesh Channa, you in any case please be here because you have to wrap up the session. Very quickly, Ajit Mekhot from NXP. How can NXP, how is it NXP seeing to add value in the context of AI on edge?
Yeah, NXP's mission statement is to bring intelligent systems to the edge. So we heard all the panelists talk about power of running AI applications in the cloud. And our goal is to bring AI applications closer to the end user, ranging from applications that need microwatts to tens of watts and not gigawatts or megawatts of power. So in that process, we are also able to help the environment. For example, we are partnering with our company called Ozone, which does ocean cleanup and is able to use AI applications to detect ocean waste and be able to collect it. Similarly, for smart agriculture, we have several applications that help sustainable agriculture and effective use of fertilizers using AI applications. So our mission statement is to bring AI closer to the end user in a way that doesn't need megawatts of power.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Lavneesh Channa, to wrap up the session, we'll take the comments.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I'm Lavneesh, and I work for SAP, and I also chair the Digital Economy Committee. My name is not Sonia Parashar. she made me sit. Actually, we have done a fantastic work of discussing technology not only in vacuum, but a twin transition of linking digital with sustainability. That is the interwoven digital and sustainability agenda. Obviously, all of us came here with the thought process on the unprecedented scale that India offers and the regulatory framework that EU and what can be done. We have the resilient supply chains and the sustainable frameworks. Since the word is brilliant today, which Sonia coined, let me summarize the whole discussion. That's what I have been told to do in this word brilliant only. I think in this word brilliant, the B as it came out from the panel is this whole need for bilateral benchmarking. That is, we need to actually do the alignment of the EU regulatory frameworks with India's digital scale to set global interoperable standards. That's the B. The R in the brilliant stands for responsible resilience. That's the R, that is building AI-driven supply chains that are ethically sound, and we heard from Airbus that this can only happen at the design stage. You heard that in terms of designing stage. I frankly came as a word to me that is innovating the impact, and that is where focusing on sector-specific AI use cases that Klaus highlighted from, and then we heard from Ericsson on the various use cases. L was leveraging R&D, leveraging research, and we also heard the co-creation of twin transition solutions from multiple panelists. Then the other L to me was the low carbon ledgers. That is, we now need to measure the green line in addition to top line and bottom line, and that's where we have the next wave of, then we have the I, that is the inclusive interoperability. And we also heard from EU, European Commission, the plans, the short-term, mid-term, and the long-term plan of integrating and interoperating the industrial identity as well as the national identity. And what we heard on A is accelerating the action. And our panelists from Merck mentioned the need for industrial AI as the vehicle to move forward in terms of the accelerating action. N obviously is net zero networks. And I love the statement coming from Mr. Oliver that AI needs energy and energy needs intelligence. I think that's where the net zero networks, and finally T, as all panelists said, is the trust-based transition. That's the trust base that we are looking for. Given that sitting there, I created 4 lines using AI, and I want to end with that from Bharat Mandapam, a vision can take flight. From Bharat Mandapam, a vision can take flight where green goals and digital power can unite. With India's vast scale and EU's clear mind, a sustainable future is what all of us can find. Thank you so much for the presentation.
So again, once again, ending with a very, very brilliant wrap-up. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We had to do it very quickly because the next session is going to start. But you will have a chance to interact outside the room and